abolish the Spanish Inquisition.
Hello guys, it's Montu Plays here, back at it again with another Dev Diary video. Today we're looking at all the patch notes here with
EP3.0, and I'm really great, and I'm not a child or anything, and together we're gonna play Stellaris, yay!
Okay, you silly child.
So patch 3.9 has now dropped in open beta. We have a full and comprehensive changelog, and together with the rather large YouTuber EP3.0 at GamesCom, we are going to review these change notes in a sensible and reasonable fashion and bring you the latest news today.
Get me another pint.
Let's start right at the beginning with the features. So first up we have the Plantoids Species Pack. What's coming to that? Well, they've added the Fruitful Partnership origin for fungoids and plantoid species. What do you think about Fruitful Partnership, EP3.0?
It's going to be very fruity, I think.
Yeah, can you tell us any more about it? Have you read a Dev Diary recently?
I've been doing my degree, leave me alone. Please.
Can you read?
No, I listen to your Dev Diaries because I can't read.
Perfect. Well, Fruitful Partnership, basically what it does is, it's like Cordyceptics, except instead of killing the amoeba or the Tianki, you impregnate them and they spread your seed to the rest of the galaxy. I kid you not.
Mummy bubbles.
That's what's happening, yeah.
Mummy bubbles.
Yeah. But it could be very powerful depending on how they do it. Right, they've added a new invasive species trait available for fungoids and plantoids. What that one does is, for every negative trait you have, you get 5% extra habitability and growth speed. So basically you can make terrible pops, sell them to other people or put them on the slave market, or just like abuse xenophiles. This is really the xenophobe patch that we've been waiting for a long time. They've added a new Dryad-inspired portrait. That one was a bit meh. I mean,
it's a bit dry.
For the love of God. Yay! Don't drink and derive, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, they've added the Blooms of Gaia. That's Gaia, but they've spelt it G-A-E... The Blooms of Gaia, Prescripted Empire. The idyllic Bloom Civic has been buffed.
Let's go!
Oh, that's actually cool. I didn't know this. Phase 4 Gaia Seeders will now grant 3 to 5 pops, the Gaia World preference, and the Bloom trait every 5 years. As well as... That is insane.
Wait, that's really good.
That is really good. Whoa. As well as increasing the effects of this trait and the budding trait by plus 50%. Holy crap!
That thing was already really good.
Where did they pull this out of? The bloomed trait gives plus 10% resources from jobs, 10% growth speed, minus 10 amenities used, and minus 10% housing used when the pop is on a Gaia world.
The Gaia world kills it for me, though.
Well, no, but you're getting Gaia Seeders. You can make every world into a Gaia world.
Oh yeah, I can't read.
Yeah, no, we're talking about Gaia Seeders. It's really...
that is good, actually, yeah.
That is very powerful.
Good. Gaia new meta.
Alright, changes now to the Humanoid Species Pack. They've added the new, and apparently I've been saying it wrong, the Enmity.
You still said it wrong.
Penguin. It's the Penguin trait. The Penguin tradition tree focused on making and maintaining rivalries. Yes, this is the Xenophobe patch. They've added 3 new species traits available to all biological and lithoid species. That's Existential Iteropathity, which means that whenever you're in a war or fighting the crisis, you get 30% growth speed.
Very nice.
They've the Negative Psychological Infertility, which means whenever you're fighting a war of the crisis, you get minus 30% growth speed.
That's not good.
But as long as if you play like Pacifist...
Yeah, it's good early game anyway.
Well, yeah, the first 10-15 years...
And just get rid of it.
Exactly. Well, it's a minus 2 for nothing then. And then the final one is Jinxed. You can put this on bad species that you don't want to have leaders. You get +1 maximum negative leader traits. So it makes your leaders just that bit worse. They've added 2 new portraits. The Space Elf thing, which is kind of...
It's the best portrait ever to be added to the game, except for the Fox one.
Really? You think so?
No.
Have you even seen it?
No.
Oh my god. And then for the Lithoid Species Pack, they've added a new vacuum-proof Civic for hive minds. I don't remember that one. Vacuum-proof? No, I don't remember that one at all. What was that?
It sucks.
Oh, for the love of God. Right, okay, they've added the Selective Kinship Civic for regular empires. That one was the space racism one. That one was kind of fun. Basically anyone that shares the same phenotype as you, you get bonuses, and if you enslave anyone that doesn't look similar to you, you also get bonuses. It's the classic space racism. It's perfect.
Xenophobia, not racism.
Sorry, space xenophobia. I apologize. We're not racist, we're xenophobic. Added a new humanoid-inspired portrait, and they've added the Federated Thean Preservers Prescripted Empire to the Lithoid DLC. They've added a new Necromancy Ascension perk for Machine Empires. Basically, the Cordyceptic Civic, the Reanimated Civic, Machine Empires don't have Reanimators, they get Necromancy.
I saw that, yeah.
Gives them
good.
15% extra weapons damage to large, X-Slot, and Titan weapons, and they can resurrect... what's it called? They can resurrect Leviathans. And on top of that, whenever they purge a bio or a lithoid, they come back as a cybernetic.
Justice for the Machine Empires. Finally.
Yeah, you would say that.
I would say that.
Bloody hell. They've added a new Worker Cooperative Civic to the Megacorp DLC. That one I'm excited for. That one's interesting. There's a new trade policy with that, where the trade value converts directly into energy credits, minerals, and food.
Ooh, but it's food, you know.
Yes, but you can sell the food. You can sell like 50, 60 a month for
That's
more
true.
energy and then buy more minerals. But yes, I completely agree. And last here on this page, they've added the new Kaleidoscope mid-game situation. What? In the Nemesis DLC. Oh, I mean, that'd be cool. We haven't seen anything about that.
Space drugs.
What?
It's like a space drugs through the kaleidoscope. Isn't it?
Has Gamescom been heavy for you?
Yes.
Yes, it has, hasn't it?
Yes.
You poor thing.
I know.
Next up, we have the reworks to habitats. So habitats are now limited to one habitat central complex per system and a number of orbitals depending on the planets, moons, and asteroids present. Basically, this central complex is the colonizable world. So habitats will have one colonizable world per system, and you can kind of upgrade how good that colony is by adding these other bits and pieces. So major orbitals are constructed around planets and provide additional district slots to the habitat central complex, in addition to modifiers depending on the deposits present. And the other part is the minor orbitals. They're constructed around the moons and asteroids, and they only provide modifiers depending on the deposits, again, present.
Basically, it's less laggy.
Yeah, and also it means that, like, you don't have, say, you know, if you're playing Void Dwellers, you don't have 10 planets in a single system to manage, each one with like 20 pops. Now you'll have one giant world with, say, 30 or 40 districts that has 100 pops. It's kind of cooler, I think, in some ways.
I like it.
They've removed the leisure and trade districts from habitats. That's a bit, the
trade's a big one.
Yes, well, I mean, we're going to see in a bit, though, they've reworked trade as well, and merchant spam is gone.
No, I love merchants. I hate clerks.
I mean, no one hates clerks more than I do.
No, I hate clerks.
I'm not sure you hate them more.
I
You've done
hate
clerk
clerks.
only runs before I have.
And I wanted to just cry. It was the worst experience ever.
And yet you did a part 2.
It got views.
Amazing. All right. So the habitat upgrade decision increases the habitability of the habitat in addition to increasing the district and building slots provided by orbitals. Their cost is modified by your habitat build cost modifier, which can change based on ascension perks and origin, as we're about to see in a moment. They've reworked the number of districts on a habitat and the amount of jobs/housing that those districts provide. So basically, it's all different. You can play the beta right now, actually, and see all of these changes.
Yeah.
It's live immediately.
It's probably less lag as well. That's basically what they're trying to do, because everyone complained about it.
Yeah, and you won't get as many like systems filled with unoccupied planets where the AI was involved. Yeah. So they've reworked the Voidborn Ascension perk. The modifiers are now minus 20% habitat build cost, which will also work for the orbitals, the extra bits and pieces. Building slots from non-urban habitat districts goes up by plus 0.25. That is from a base of plus 0.5, I believe. So it's just a few extra building slots you'll be getting.
Yeah.
Jobs from habitat districts plus 1, so all of your districts give more jobs, which is nice. The thing is, though, I think this kind of means Voidborn really isn't that powerful unless you're going really hard on habitats.
Or late game, I guess.
Well, no, even then, I think you have to go hard on habitats. Before, with Voidborn, you would take it to get those extra 2 building slots and the habitability bonus.
And the resources.
And the resources. Empire-wide, it would be helpful, whereas now it's, unless you're going really hard on habitats, these bonuses are not going to be that useful. It's adding more jobs, for example, but it's not adding more efficiency, which is what we used to get. So also some effects here. Upgrading a habitat central complex allows research of the next level of habitat technology, and you can construct advanced housing buildings on habitats, just like regular Void Dwellers used to be able to do. And it cannot be taken by empires with the Void Dweller origin. So categorically, if you take Void Dweller as an origin, you cannot then take Voidborn. So no longer we see Void Dweller taking Voidborn as the first pick. That's just out the window.
I don't know if that's a buff or a negative, to be honest.
The Voidborn Ascension perk is pretty much equivalent to Void Dweller actually.
Yeah.
So it's just different, I would say.
Yeah.
Now jumping over to the reworked Void Dweller origin. The first big ticket item here is that it can now be taken by hive minds.
That's huge. Why not machines though? Where's my
Machines are
justice
hive
for
mind.
machines?
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. You can't get a machine. That's not fair.
It's not fair, and you can watch my video on when I played Machine Void Dwellers because of a mod. Click
You
in
could
here.
watch it, or you can keep watching this video instead, which is much more fun and interesting. Anyway, moving swiftly on, you can now build advanced housing buildings on habitats. If you're a void dweller, I mean, you could already do that, I believe. Yeah, you could already build the advanced housing building. Luxury housing.
I'm not sure you could. I don't actually remember.
No, I think you could. At level 2 habitats before, I think. Modifiers have been replaced with habitat build cost minus 25%, which is basically only
The Ascension
5%.
perk
Yeah,
as
it's the
well.
Ascension perk, but an extra 5%. And then the other two effects here are exactly the same. I won't read them out again, but it's the same as the Ascension perk. Then the Arcane Replicator planetary feature has been increased to grant 20 alloy production from the start of the game for nothing, just being a Void Dweller. And they've increased the consumer goods production to 10. So it no longer produces consumer goods for empires that don't use consumer goods though.
Oh, so you don't get them for hive minds.
No, you don't. The species trait no longer decreases pop growth speed.
Oh, but you only have one habitat as well.
Yes, so before we had 3 pop growth opportunities, now we just have the 1. You cannot take the Voidborn Ascension perk, as previously mentioned. And then we got some more bits and pieces. So pre-scripted ideal planets have been replaced, so that's guaranteed habitables, with systems rich in resource deposits. The first pre-scripted system will have the habitable world replaced with a frozen world with a size 3 engineering deposit, which is kind of tiny.
Yeah.
3 planets, moons, or asteroids with an 83% chance of a size 1 physics, society, or engineering deposit,
Very
and a
specific.
17% chance of a size 2 engineering, physics, or society research deposit. These deposits are in addition to whatever else might be spawned by the game. If the Void Dweller Sol starting system is selected, this will be Alpha Centauri. The second pre-scripted system will have the habitable world replaced with a molten world with a size 3 alloy and size 4 mineral deposit. That's quite big, actually.
Yeah.
3 planets, moons, or asteroids with an 83% chance of either a size 1 mineral or energy deposit or a 17% chance of a size 2 mineral or energy deposit. Why is this important? Well, based on the deposits you have, that impacts the districts that you can build on your habitats or grants you additional resource income. So basically they've made it so your starting adjacent systems are better for habitats, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
These deposits are in addition to, again, whatever else you might find in the system. And if you're the Void Dweller, this will be the Sirius system.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am, and don't call me Shirley. Habitats that are blown up by a colossus now leave behind a ruined habitat megastructure which can be repaired into a fully functional habitat central complex, meaning you can get the planet back. Now we get to the trade rework. So they've reworked jobs that primarily produce trade and introduced a brand new specialist strata trader job. This trader job provides 8 trade value for 2 consumer goods upkeep, which seems pretty high to me. The clerks produce 3 trade value and 3 amenities. That was changed from before. They had 4 trade value and 2 amenities, so they've kind of nerfed clerks from a trade value perspective. Important thing to note here though, traders are improved by the Merchant Guild Civic. So before it was clerks, now it's traders that get plus 0.4 trade value for that councillor position for every level they're at. So you can get traders up to a base value of 12 or 13, if you can get up to like level 12 or 13 councillor, which is higher than the previous maximums, the minimum of merchants, before adding other bonuses from traits and that sort of stuff. Commercial zones now provide 1 trader job and 2 clerk jobs. Before it was 3 clerks. Commercial megaplexes provide 2 trader jobs and 4 clerk jobs, whereas before it was 6 clerks and a merchant. As you can see, they are eliminating merchant jobs left, right, and center.
Just get rid of the clerks. We don't want the clerks.
I mean, yes, but they're trying to get rid of the ruler spam. That's their end goal here, is to get rid of the
clerks.
merchants. Well, clerks hate you too, and to be fair, we all hate clerks, and that's very reasonable. So Shattered Ring trade districts now provide 1 trader job. It was a clerk, and the Ringworld trade districts now provide 2 trader jobs and 6 clerks. Before it was 2 merchant jobs and 6 clerks. Again, they've got rid of merchants. Merchants were powerful, they were strong, they were rulers, which carried other bonuses. For example, due to the pop political weight system, you can get more unity production from your factions for running all of these bloody merchants.
I really like the merchant meta though. Like that was really fun to play. I really hope traders make up for this, because otherwise I'll be angry.
I'm not sure they will. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a bit of a nerf overall.
No!
Yeah, so the new Mystic Priest jobs have been added, producing 8 trade value, 2 unity, and 2 amenities. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
New Mystic Shrine now provides 4 of these New Mystic Priests, whereas before it provided 2 regular priests and 2 merchants. So it's kind of overall more trade value, more unity, but you don't get the priests, you don't get the merchants. Trickle Up Economics tradition now gives clerks +1 amenity and trade value, meaning you get 4 amenities and 4 trade value.
That's so bad.
I know.
That's so bad.
You don't even get extra clerk jobs anymore. You just get +1 trade value and +1 amenities for a single tradition.
I love Void Dweller trade bills.
No,
And
they've got rid of trade
them.
districts. They've
I
got
know
rid of
they've
trade
got rid of
districts.
everything.
It's gone. No, I'm sorry, that's gone.
No!
I'm sorry, that's not possible anymore.
No!
Please use the exit on the left.
I'm leaving.
Commercial Enterprise Tradition now makes traders give +2 amenities, and the commercial buildings and trade districts provide additional trade jobs. He's just crying in the corner.
Why have they done this?
So before, commercial buildings and trade districts provided additional merchants, but of course they've guillotined the merchants, those bourgeoisie bastards, and they've replaced them with traders, entirely better. They've reduced the number of merchant jobs from the Galactic Stock Exchange
It's
to
a zero
1.
problem. Oh, there's a merchant! The merchants are still alive!
Oh.
Yes!
But just 1. Galactic Stock Exchange Planet Unique gives 1 merchant.
I'm only spamming them for 1.
But that's only still 1 per planet.
Oh.
Merchant Guild Counselor now increases trader output by 0.4 trade value per level, before it increased clerk output by 0.4 trade value per
Clerks
level.
don't get that buff
Clerks,
anymore.
yeah, clerks are now dog poo.
So trade
Traders,
just sucks.
no. Traders are like better than clerks, worse than merchants, but you can buff them to be equivalent to merchants in the end. So the main issue is that traders require 2 consumer goods upkeep, and merchants, they used to require 2 consumer goods upkeep. So all in all, they've nerfed trade, pretty much. This is a trade nerf.
Trade was never that good.
No, it wasn't. It didn't deserve a nerf. Having said that, the new Civic that grants trade value converted into basic resources, I mean, I haven't played enough with it yet, but it might
Don't
be good.
add the Civic and keep the merchants.
So what you're saying is roll back to 3.8.
Yeah.
That's your advice.
There's no vassal changes here, so who cares?
They've added the new Mermeku Colony event chain. No idea what that does. They've added the First Contact event chain, The Trial. That's cool. So added buffing some old DLC. And the colonization vessel for Eagle Explorers now has a unique ship model. I thought it did before.
I thought it did as well.
Does it have
no, the science and the science.
Oh, they were the
ship did.
same. Were they the
Yeah.
same? Oh, so now it's got a unique model. Ooh.
Ooh, fancy. But no auto explore.
And also, they've got rid of merchants. How do you feel about that?
No!
And if you're enjoying this video, please
Like it. I don't want to be in this video anymore.
So they've added new node culling for hive minds and node reformatting for machine intelligences. These are agendas. These agendas are unlocked by researching a tier 2 society statecraft technology. Culling or reformatting a node removes the node, culls it, quite obviously, and replaces it with a fresh node with different traits. The maximum skill of this new node depends on any modifiers to starting leader skill and the new restored node additional skill modifier that you get through technology. They've added the restored node additional skill modifier, which increases the starting skill level of new nodes generated by the node culling or node reformatting agendas. Basically means if you pick some bonuses that are good in the early game and later on in the mid to late game they're crap, you can just get rid of the node and have a re-go. You can have a redo. I think that's
I really like it, to be fair. It's much better than what it was previously, and I thought hives and machines were already quite strong with the new council agendas. Traits.
I don't think this makes them stronger. What it does, it makes them more replayable.
Yeah.
Because like in a strong PvP game, going from a level 8 node to a level 3 node is diabolical, even if you have some bad traits on the level 8 node. But if you're playing a long single player game and you want to respec your node, I think it's much more fun this way.
Definitely, yeah.
They've expanded leaders from Enclave, so now you can get a whole bunch of leaders from the Specialist Enclave. So you can hire a Shroud Walker teacher, which will give you a level 5 governor instead of being able to enact a planetary decision. You can hire a Master Salvager, level 5 scientist from the Salvager Enclave. The governors you can hire from the Trader Enclaves now have unique traits and are no longer immortal. Those unique traits generally grant you free rare resources, so volatile motes, exotic gases, just 2 per month. just for having them. It's
good early
nice.
game.
Yeah, and it's a nice little bonus to have. Leaders hired from enclaves can now be appointed to unique council positions as well, so they each have their own unique position, which this does require galactic paragons, but it's still a cool feature. And finally, if you ever attack the enclave from which you hired a leader, this causes the leader to leave your empire with additional consequences if they're on the council. They get very upset.
There's no loyalty these days.
I mean, you've killed their people and their home.
They work for you.
Remind me never to apply for a job with you, and we're all good. So, moving on. Reduce the RNG for pursuing an ascension path. This is, I think, really good. This is, if anything, a buff to Psionic, because they basically eliminated the RNG for the ascension path. So they removed the tech requirements from engineered evolution, mind over matter, the flesh is weak, organo-machine interface, synthetic evolution, and synthetic age ascension perk. So you take the ascension perk without needing the tech, but then you need the tech in order to unlock the tradition. But they now have a special agenda that you can take, which gives progress in the technology relevant to the ascension path. These agendas are faster to enact than normal agendas and have reduced cooldown compared to most others. Additionally, the enactment time for the mind over matter agenda depends on your empire ethics. So if you're spiritualist, you can kind of, as your third ascension perk, because they pushed it back further, take the mind over matter ascension perk, then take the agenda, and you're guaranteed to get the psionic technology coming up, which I think is just better.
Yeah, it buffs unity indirectly because you need to get to that third ascension perk now, and it also gives more control to the player, which I also like. Not the biggest fan of RNG, little bit there, and
they've still kept the Shroud RNG, and so like once you enter the Shroud, all of that RNG is still there. It's just the RNG of whether or not you're allowed to take Psionic, which honestly, I've seen people comment saying things like, oh, it's so much fun, I love the RNG, but when you're like at year 100 and you're doing a spiritualist run through and you still haven't rolled the psionic technology,
it's infuriating.
You want to pull your hair out. It's awful. Absolutely awful. The Teachers of the Shroud origin now grants access to the mind over matter agenda as well. So Teachers of the Shroud, they can do the psionic ascension as their first ascension perk straight away. Guaranteed.
I really like that.
I think it's quite
If you want to be spiritualist, you go that origin. Perfect.
Or if you want to be psionic, right?
Yeah,
that's
what I
full
mean,
psionic. Yeah. Under One Rule Origin now has more conclusion events after your ascension, which is interesting.
Nice.
That was, I think, something I wanted to add in. There was some. If you looked in the files, there was some hashtag to dos in the files or / to dos there, but I think they've been filled in now. Supremacists now allow xenospecies on the council if they have the selected kinship civic, but only from their species class. This is the civic we talked about before, where
they've not forgotten about features.
Yeah, with the phenotype. Environmentalist empires with their Ranger Lodge building can now enact a decision to create additional natural blockers on the planet.
We might use the civic for once.
I mean, they've also changed it so that the different blockers also provide basic resources for Ranger jobs. I'm thinking about doing a Ranger-only run-through.
I've already made it.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, no, it's my idea now.
Yeah.
It's my idea now.
You haven't made the video.
No, it's my idea.
You haven't made it, though.
I thought of that first.
Now we're on the improvements coming in the 3.9 open beta. So, automation improvements. This is kind of important, actually. I think you've missed this in the news. Sector automation is removed in favor of planetary automation, which no longer requires a defined resource stockpile. It means that it will take resources directly from your resources, and you can now forbid the planet's automation to use specific resources. This means you can't build buildings with energy. You have to build them with the correct resources, but it will take them directly from your stockpile.
I think that's better overall. Before it
yes.
was very gamey and confusing. If you knew about the change, about the energy, you would
It
just
was
do
optimum.
so much well.
It was optimum to play with automation using energy to build buildings rather than minerals and rare resources.
You only have to focus on one thing.
Whereas now, you actually have to use minerals if you want to build a bloody building.
Minerals are buffed.
Kind of, yeah. New player improvements, allegedly. They've added new tutorial steps to help new players learn core concepts such as toggling the galactic map and unpausing. I mean, they could watch a tutorial. There's a few out there. I don't know. Civilian difficulty now blocks homicidal, despoiling, criminal syndicate, and assimilator empires. It also reduces the fanatic xenophobe spawn rate by 80%. And finally, it blocks homicidal event empires from spawning. So you play on civilian, the galaxy is really nice to you.
Where's the trial by fire that we all had to go through?
Yes, I mean, in some ways I have to say I agree. This is nonsense. Deficit and rebellion situations progress 90% slower, on civilian difficulty and 50% slower on cadet difficulty. Oh my god. So basically you won't have a rebellion, or you'll sit there for like a year going, oh no, this is a problem, what do I do? And you just don't know what to do.
To be fair, these are the pain points for new players, so I can see why they've done it.
Yes.
And maybe it will help for newer player integration. But also, I think we can all bond over the fact that we had that Fnatic Purifier on our border on our first run and we just got destroyed, you know?
Maybe not the first, but yeah, definitely.
One of the runs.
They've added a location marker to the first colony event, making it easier to find your new world. They've improved the origin tooltips by making use of nested tooltips.
I love nested tooltips. CK3, I learned so much about everything because I had not got a clue. But it's really good. I love nested tooltips.
They've improved clarity and formatting of auto-generated civic tooltips. What's an auto-generated civic? Exactly. I'm deeply confused, but also a little afraid. An auto-generated civic. Maybe we can circle back to that one later.
They use machine learning to create the new civics.
My God. They've gone too far. L-Gate Insight and L-Gate Activation technologies are now considered dangerous. Lost Colony Origin is now playable by Gestalt Empires.
Yes! Just all buffs!
So that means you can play Lost Colony. I mean, is that really that big a deal?
No, but there's another Origin
I
that
suppose.
they can play.
That's fun. Yeah, that's fun. Omega Theory technology is now considered dangerous. The Common Ground and Hegemony origins can now be selected by Gestalt Empires that do not have any of the following civics: Devouring Swarm, Terrorvault, Determined Exterminator.
All playable Origins for Gestalt. Let's go!
I think it also means if you are a regular empire and you take for instance, Common Ground, you could end up with a machine intelligence as part of your federation.
That's quite cool, though.
I think it thematically makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm in favor. The randomly generated Federation members for Common Ground Origin can now also be machine intelligences or hive mind. I am prescient. It's as if I read ahead. They've decreased the frequency of hive mind Federation members, but increased the frequency of machine Federation members.
Go machine over mind!
If the player is a machine empire.
Oh.
Automatic designation for rural mining, energy, and farming designation now accounts for buildings that boost mineral, energy, or food output.
They didn't before.
Apparently not. That's kind of awkward.
Because I would
assume
put
so.
auto build late game, and I thought it'd just build them.
No. But now it's gonna be good. No, it's automatic designation. It's about auto building. It's about what the designation is automatically chosen as. Also, I did speak. You can't read or listen.
What?
The tooltip for the number of districts on the planet UI now lists the number of district slots used. That's such a big quality of life improvement. Oh my goodness me.
You can't read, can you? Or count?
What do you mean I can't read or count? The tooltip for the number of districts on the planet UI now lists the number of district slots used. How is that not a benefit?
Oh, that is a benefit. Actually.
Like, are you misunderstanding? What are you doing
here? I
here?
can't read.
No, you can't. Yeah, well, no, we know that. We've established that.
He'd be angry if he could read.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, yeah. He'd be very angry if he could read in there. Choosing the consume planetary decision as a Terrorvault will now start a situation that will consume the entire planet. Space. Oh, we're going to keep this in. I'm going to try. No.
From the clicking the button. What?
Why can't we read? Oh no, EP3O's on the floor. He's down. Somebody call a mechanic. Oh my goodness, that was too much noise. Right, so let's finish it. Sparing you from clicking the button numerous times. Excellent, I got that. The From Beyond... What?
It's a good change.
Excellent, don't interrupt. The From Beyond science ship now uses components suitable for its origins. They've added an introductory event for Holy Worlds found on the fringes of Fallen Empire territory. Oh, amazing.
Oh,
no longer...
No trial by fire.
New players won't suddenly be like, I found a Gaia world. Why am I dying? That was good, though. I love the Reddit threads.
Yeah, they're funny.
Amen.
We all did it.
We all did. It was...
Back in my day, I'd die in my Stellaris run.
Like 2 years ago? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, I'm only 4.
Pretty much. They've added events for Scion Empires surveying a Fallen Empire's Holy World for the first time. Ooh, interesting. They've added Habitat Central Complexes to the ship set preview in Empire Creation. I assume that just looks like the old Habitat, though. Various triggers no longer check for mining habitat, energy habitat, or research habitat flags. They instead check for modifier values.
I don't know what that means.
No, I do, but like, it doesn't really mean anything. It just means that they're looking for a different flag. Habitat level in the outliner now ranges from 1 to 10. Habitat level is increased by upgrade habitat decisions and determined by planet flags. Only levels 1 through 3 are used in unmodded games.
Ooh, modders.
You can get up to level 10 habitats now. Yeah, you could get, well, I mean, this is a gigastructure feature, basically, isn't it? Constructing an orbital triggers a toast. That's a toast notification, or like a cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, huzzah. They've adjusted the orbit angle of Europa to prevent objects in orbit from clipping into those in orbit of Io. Thank God. The immersion breaking features of Europa has long been a gripe of mine.
I almost quit Stellaris. If they did not fix this,
I mean, it was like Io or bust, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Absolutely. Yeah. We're totally not full of horse poo.
Nope.
Standardized highlighting color used for tradition tooltips.
Finally.
I didn't even know that.
Finally, a standardized color.
Did we not?
It was driving me crazy.
Did we not have the same color?
I don't know.
You have no idea, do you?
No.
Do you even know what time it is?
12?
Welcome to Gamescom. We're now on the UI. We are going to try and get through this. The day is long and the night is dark and full of terrors, plus there are some other things at play here. Right, so they've added a pop-up message for when your co-op group is disbanded. I don't even know what that means.
Yay!
They make the Empire-sized tooltip total, include the floor, as well as an explanation when applicable. Thank God the floor's there.
What about the ceiling?
I was worried there was no ceiling. They make the advisor window not hide the outliner.
That's good. Actually, that annoyed me.
No, what? What do you mean? How was the advisor window hiding the outliner?
Because it was.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
No, I don't even know. Oh, no, the advisor, the pop-up. Oh, yeah,
It
that
was really
annoying.
Yeah.
Sugar. That almost got me then. Ship component modifiers from Archeo engineers are now included in the stats in the ship designer and ship design windows. Thank goodness.
That's good.
Because it didn't used to have the stats when you upgraded with the Ascension perk.
Yeah, that's why they put the.
That's why they put it in now.
They put it in.
Yeah. Thanks. You've really helped there. Thanks.
Well, you're the one who.
Oh no, good thing I've got you here. You're really bringing insight.
Good thing I've got you here.
Oh yes, no, yeah. You're bringing insight and knowledge to the video.
Right-clicking a starbase icon in the galaxy view now allows you to select fleet orders targeting the starbase.
Custom ship designs can now be created even if auto-generate designs is enabled. Oh, that means every game I play I don't have to click auto-generate turn off.
One less click. Yes.
My yes, amazing there. Your eloquence knows no bounds, sir. They fixed planet modifier icons not updating correctly when removing and adding a modifier at the same time. In-fleet view-related tooltips added X icon in front of an unfilled condition. They've added green check marks in front of conditions that is positive. What? They've added green check mark in front of a condition that is positive. Am I having an aneurysm or is that illegible? Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, is it about like the resources, like strategic resources?
I have no idea.
I have no
Condition that is positive. Are you positive? Yes, I'm very good, thank you.
I'm
Anyway.
positive. I don't know what that means.
Oh my lord. They fixed tooltips for edict checkboxes not appearing, and they've added a scroll bar for the list of selectable council positions. That's good.
Yes.
Didn't know we didn't have one of those actually.
No,
I thought
love
we did.
scroll bars.
Well, they're the best. Now we're on the balance changes. So edicts now have an activation cost equal to their monthly cost. I have no idea why this was implemented.
It was before.
No,
then
you
they
just had
removed it.
no. It was, then they removed it, but then you had to have Unity equal to the minimum cost of the edict.
It's because you could toggle it. If you were really quick.
the crystalline
before-
sensors. Not even really quick, so you could turn crystalline sensors on and off and
Yeah.
never pay.
Yeah, I blame Ragunas.
I blame Ragoon as well. Major changes have been made to the leader XP penalty for being over leader capacity. The curve has been adjusted to a non-linear one that no longer reaches minus 100%. It's
I've
an
seen the
exponential
graphs.
decay.
Yeah, I love a graph.
Yes, well, there's been some graphical pornography on my show before here, and we'll bring it back again at some point, but it was a great graph. Leader capacity in the top bar will now turn yellow, I say, until you are at double your base capacity, after which it will turn red. So it will assume that you can go up to double before it's a big problem.
That's fair enough. For new players, I guess.
They've buffed catalytic processing.
Yes! Food buffs!
Oh my god. So, Principal Catalyst, regular Empire Council position, affects +2 Metallurgist output per level.
Ooh.
Chief Catalyst Officer for Megacorps, -5% food upkeep for jobs. Nah. Chemist Translucer and Gas Refiner jobs and their guest out equivalents now have food upkeep for Catalytic Empires. The mineral to food ratio is kept at 2 to 3. Whoa. Food
That's really
upkeep.
good.
Holy crap.
Food into strategic.
Rare resources.
Rare resources.
The word is rare, not strategic. We're not playing Hoi.
In 1.0 it's called strategic.
I don't think so. Much like metallurgists to catalytic technicians, meaning these jobs have an upkeep of 15 food. Machine intelligences with the organic reprocessing civic now no longer have -1 to food production for agri drones. Because that's what they've been suffering from.
Yes.
That -1 food for catalytic organic reprocessing, that's the problem. Catalytic technicians, chemists, translucers, and gas refiner jobs and their guest out equivalents with food upkeep have 1.25 times the base output of the equivalent jobs with mineral upkeep. They buffed them. So
this is really good.
that actually could make it kind of close to worthwhile.
Yeah.
For a regular empire. Maybe if you're going, not Void Dweller, but if you went Shattered Ring.
I really like it from an RP perspective as well. Like, you go in food into alloys, but then you can also do strategic resources on the side.
Soylent Green is made of people. That's all I have to say on that. Rebalance the rule of strata jobs, so science directors no longer produce Unity. Boo!
We want Tech Rush.
That's not fair. High priests produce additional Unity instead of additional amenities compared to politicians. But the amenities was the main buff there. You could have your high priest with good Unity production and like 5 amenity output.
I don't know what they're doing with amenities.
I don't know.
I need to play the game to actually figure it out, to be honest.
Yeah, you need to play at least more than like an hour.
Yeah, that would be good.
And more than an hour every year would be good for you to do, rather than like getting other people to play games and like passing it off as your own content. Yeah, because EP0 has not played Stellaris in 2023. He's a liar, a cheat, and a fraud, and I would not listen to him. Anyway.
I totally don't just react in the corner to what's going on.
Yeah, you just react to someone else's play, don't you?
No.
Secretly, the real secret is you've never played Stellaris.
No.
I mean, you used to, and you were crap, and then suddenly you got better. What happened?
No.
You brought in someone to play for you, didn't you?
I watched Montu's guides.
That's a lie. Also, executives produce slightly less Unity than politicians and now have a small amount of energy upkeep in addition to their... So they basically nerfed executives, so corporate executives.
What's the point in doing trade builds?
No. An executive isn't just a megacorp build.
Yeah, but trade,
I mean, traders, merchants are gone too, don't forget.
No!
Colonists are now worker strata jobs. Pre-scripted ideal worlds are now flagged to not have anomalies ever. That's good. It means you'll never be stuck in that position where you cannot colonize a world.
Good. That always happens to me.
Yeah, that's a massive balance change. Embassy complexes now grant a politician job. Grand embassy complexes now grant 2 politician jobs.
It was already quite good.
Yes, because you got envoys.
Yeah.
The vat-grown trait from genetic ascension now renders the species completely infertile.
Just like me.
Okay, I'm really sorry to hear that. You can get counselling. You should.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That's awful. Yeah, we should. We won't tell anyone. Anyway, it'll be cut for sure. The vat grown, made calamitous births, unique deposit increase. No, don't worry, I've cut it. It's cut. I definitely won't end up in. If it has, someone will let me know in the comments and I'll cut it out in post. No, it's cut. Made calamitous birth, unique deposit increase the effectiveness of lithoid unique traits by 50%, and they make the lithoid crater only negatively impact non-lithoid species. It's alright, we won't put that thing about your fertility in, it's fine. Look, this is cut too, I'll cut this too, it's fine. National Zeal now gains plus 5% Diplo weight per rival. That's
really
wild.
That's good.
There are changes coming to the Archaeotech's balance. So, they've halved the energy upkeep of the facility of Archaeo Studies, which kind of makes the Relic Origin viable. They've allowed the Expertise Archaeo Studies trait to be selected in more cases. That's kind of here nor there. Well, no, I don't think that's that important, actually. The Expertise Archaeo Studies, really? Has that saved you the game for you ever?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that doesn't... come on, honestly. They've added the Archaeotech-focused Admiral trait. This one's cool, which grants increased damage and fire rate with Archaeotech weapons.
I like that.
They've decreased the research speed and draw weight for Archaeotech from the Expertise trait, but made it reduce the minor artifact cost for ship components.
That's really good.
And that stacks with ship build cost reduction as well.
But they did nerf it in the last
No, but yeah, you can get up to like 40-50% ship build cost reduction still.
Still pretty
Plus,
good.
if you got another 20-30% off minor artifacts, you would be fine to put Archaeotech components on your bloomin' ships. The Archaeo Engineer's Ascension perk now reduces minor artifact cost for ship components by 10%. That's something. With the other bonuses,
10%.
no, but with the other bonuses, that could be the difference from going like being an 80 to 90%. So it could be double at that high level. Scion Empires are now twice as likely to see an intervention in the form of a task or reward from their overlord during the first 25 years of play. Normal probabilities, approximately 1 in 50 chance each year, applies after that first event has fired. So it means you're more likely as a Scion to interact with your Overlord, which is good.
So the origin does something, that's good.
Yes, almost always, whereas before sometimes you'd have RNG gods like smite you.
I like that.
Leaders granted during the course of the Scion Origin now come with revised traits and other such related perks. They've increased a potential 2-year trade value bonus from the Spy Network event Drain on Resources from 1%, which is useless, to 8%. That's something.
As soon as you said spy, I shut off.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. This bonus, Enterprising Spy Network, still requires you to first have a trade agreement with the espionage target. I just said espion. I don't even know what I said. Thank you very much. My speech impediment. Let's laugh at that, shall we? We should cut this too. Xenophobe Supremacist faction is now unhappy when Xenos are present on the council. I'm shocked at that one. Can you imagine the Xenophobes being unhappy with Xenos on the council?
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, that was sarcasm. That was sarcasm.
What's a sarcasm?
Don't worry about it.
Is that added in the game
No,
as well?
it's a bit too complicated for you. I understand. They've buffed the Asteroid Hive Guardian strike craft.
Yes!
Really?
We've been waiting for that all year.
That Guardian, the asteroid, the crystalline asteroids that spawn the random craft, you want that to be stronger.
Yeah.
Why?
Asteroids. They rock.
What? They rock? Oh my god. Alright, so the Supremacy Diplomatic stance now applies a minus 50% modifier to diplomatic weight gained from technology and economy. Holy crap!
That's a nerf.
That is a massive nerf.
Go whatever.
Supremacists used to be the best for diplomacy.
I like that. More choice for the player. Like, do you really want to go Supremacy? I really like that, actually.
I think it still means Supremacy is the strongest, though.
I don't know, man.
Because of how big you can make your fleet in the mid to late game.
It depends what you're going for. Like, if we were playing
sure.
Entropy, you wouldn't go Supremacy.
Sure. You probably go for something and buff your your mercantile. So you go mercantile or something if you're a trade league.
There's no more merchants.
No, there's no more merchants. You fool. Right. All Ascension civics now grant your starting planets +1 Ascension tier. What? All the Ascension civics now grant your starting planets +1 Ascension tier.
Oh, like the
So they just level up. Just so when you take,
you just get you get a better tier.
Oh,
planet.
sorry, civics, not traditions. I thought traditions for a moment. I was confused.
That's quite good because those civics were pretty trash.
Yeah, they're still +1 is still kind of trash, but it's better.
It's good to take as a third, I think, if you're going Unity Rush.
Maybe. They've reduced the Ranger jobs from Ranger Lodge by 1. Ranger Lodge now provides 1 additional Ranger job per natural blocker. So the more natural blockers you have, the more Rangers you get. And that's why we can do that Ranger-only run that I talk about. No, I'm pretty sure it was me. If we go back, I'm pretty sure I said it first.
Okay, moving on.
Rangers now produce small amounts of energy, minerals, or food depending on the natural blockers present on the planet.
That brings us back to the Ranger-only run.
That I suggested, yes, for me. The opinion lost with the trader enclaves for cancelling a trade deal now scales with the size of the deal. Good. The starting head of research for Remnant Empires now has the Archaeo Studies expertise trait. That's good. It's a bonus.
You would be good.
Okay. They've increased the range of macro batteries by 50%, making them the longest range large weapon in the game.
That's
with a minimum range of 0.
That's really good.
They're still not more powerful than kinetic artillery, but now they're possibly worth it some of the time.
We can get a video out of that.
Great. Amazing. Always thinking of the content, aren't you? Reduce the draw chance of Archaeotechs if you don't have the Archaeo Engineer's Ascension perk. Defender of the Galaxy's opinion boost now only applies to independent normal empires. Thank God. That is a vassal change, and I've been asking for that for a while. So it means that it no longer...
Overlords can't get the bonus.
So no. If you're an Overlord, you only get the Defender of the Galaxy's +200 opinion boost bonus with other independents. So your vassals don't get +200 opinion of you
really
because you took...
The only vassal change here, but at least it's...
No, that is a good one. It makes vassals harder to hold on to in this situation. Or they shouldn't be easier to hold on to because you've taken that civic about the crisis.
Yeah.
Deficit situations now reduce the base output of relevant jobs. They've reverted changes to feudal society that were introduced in 3.8. There were changes to feudal society?
I don't even remember.
What is 3.8? Biotrophies are now considered culture workers, meaning they get more bonuses. Of course, because Rogue Servitor need more bonuses, don't they? Why don't we why don't we give Rogue Servitor +1,000 minerals a month at the start of the game?
James is not going to play a different empire.
Well, probably not. I mean, we're talking about, but we hello. Talking about anybody here. Yeah, I know, Yearn is going to love that one.
I hate Rogue Servitor players.
I'm less strong of my opinion. I think every player deserves their time in the light, but Rogue Servitor should be nerfed. It's just a simple...
I hate myself.
Okay, well, fair. Yeah, we did... Yeah, okay. Speaking of bio trophies, we're now over 44 minutes through, and you know what it is? You know what it's time for?
To subscribe to
No,
keep you
that
for
is
it.
not what it's time for. It's time for the secret call out, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still watching, if you're still listening to this tirade of nonsense from myself, a venerable and esteemed creator, and somebody else who's in the room, then please let us know. That's you, mate. That's you.
Me?
Please let us know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. They've slightly reduced the base Unity output of bio trophies, so there is a bio trophy nerf.
That's good.
There is something. The Chosen will no longer spawn on Cadet or lower difficulty if the game is set to have no AI Empires. That's the Chosen AI Empire that was coming in off the galactic plane.
It means you can farm the achievement for no Xenas in the galaxy easier. You just go to that.
Being declared a crisis counts as being in breach of the galactic law for the purpose of gaining menace. I mean, that would make sense.
Yes.
If you were declared the crisis. That should do that, shouldn't it already? They've added an activation cost to all edicts because you can't be trusted with this power otherwise. Didn't we already read this?
Yes.
I can't believe they put it in. So important they put it in twice. Pompous purists now have plus 10% diplomatic weight when they're opposing resolutions.
That's quite funny.
Hydroponics farm buildings now gives 3 farming jobs.
Payback Origin.
Restoring the MSI warship to a habitat now costs 2,000 engineering research, not energy, but also grants habitats as a research option. They've added the atmospheric infused planetary feature to the unique habitat, granting plus 40% habitability. Technological cash for planetary feature now gains plus 10% research from jobs, 2 researchers or equivalent jobs, and plus 8 max research district capacity from Payback. That's pretty cool.
Not bad.
Knights of the Toxic God origin, so they've added the Order's Excalibrator planetary feature to the starting habitat, granting plus 40% habitability, so you don't have habitability problems. The Order's Domain District now gives plus 0.5 building slots, plus 6 housing, plus 2 squire jobs. The Order's Castle and Keep now gives 2 squire jobs, and owning the Maw of Toxic entity now allows construction of domain outposts in systems with Knight habitat complexes. These are major orbitals that give Knight jobs instead of modifiers depending on planetary deposit. I don't think we've really got any comments on that other than...
No, I wish they said what it was previously.
Yeah, that could be helpful. You just don't
have an
remember.
idea.
Yeah, fair. Now we come to something rather important, the AI changes coming with 3.9. So, the devs have told the AI, they told them, it can build habitats in systems without starports. Because apparently before now it thought it couldn't. I didn't even know it didn't do that. Maybe that's what's been preventing habitat spam for a while, was like, the AI didn't have a starport, so they went, no, I can't build a habitat.
That's probably something they introduced to just...
Yes, probably.
Patch it up.
And then that member of the team probably left, and then no one remembered, and now they've gone, why is this here? What a silly thing. They've increased the weight for the AI to build habitats by a factor equal to the number of planetary bodies that support mining and research stations. They've increased the weight for the AI to build habitats in the core sector. They've increased the weight for the AI to build habitats in Void Dweller pre-scripted systems. You know, they've increased the AI weight on habitat text and the Ascension perk where appropriate.
Only where appropriate.
Do we know where is appropriate? No, but apparently they do.
They do.
The wise devs. The AI will now build a maximum number of science ships equal to the number of scientists they have that can crew them, plus 1 or 5, whichever is lowest. So they won't have science ship spam anymore with empty.
That's good.
That just saves them a few hundred alloys over the whole game.
Min-max
I
the
suppose.
AIs.
That's something. They've made AI Void Dwellers more likely to take expansion traditions and less likely to take adaptability traditions. They've increased AI weight for Voidborn Ascension perk if they have the Void Hive Civic, which is the new cool one, Knights of the Toxic God origin, or they've restored the MSI's flagship into a habitat with the Payback origin. They've increased the Void Dweller AI budget for building habitats. They've increased the alloy income requirement for Void Dweller AI empires. They've made the AI Void Dwellers more likely to take expansion traditions and less likely to take adaptability traditions. And finally, last but not least, they've increased the Void Dweller AI budget for building habitats and tweaked the AI weights for habitat megastructures. Basically, they've screwed around with how habitats work.
Watch there be more habitats than normal from these changes.
No, but it's still only 1 per system.
It is, but it will be funny.
Yeah, no, there might be like 30 in an empire now or something. Oh my god.
Every system has a habitat.
But like none of the bonuses, they're all the tiny crap habitats. Oh, that would be terrible. I hope that's not. One can assume QA as well.
We could load up the beta now.
We could load up the beta, but that would be cheating.
Yes.
Now we're on the performance changes. What's changing, EP30?
The game will run faster than last update.
Faster than the human eye.
Yeah.
Faster than ever before.
It's true.
Yes, yes, the game goes better, and don't ask any more questions, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. We're not going to go through the vast list of bug fix and modding changes. If you want to look through those lists, you can do so by following the link in the description to these patch notes. However, we're going to highlight the thing you can see now on your screen, which is a massive change. Ground combat will no longer kill the last few pops of a regular colony through collateral damage, meaning you cannot invade a fortress world and make sure the planet breaks before the guard do. The guard will stick, the planet will stick, and you cannot kill off the pops and eliminate the armies early by forcing them to despawn and end up in orbit. That's a massive change, especially for PvP.
It changes so much. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, it's good for the defenders, obviously.
Yes, and it is bad for the aggressors. I think, though, that it might have been better. I personally believe it could have been better to have, for each fortress or stronghold, one pop couldn't be killed by collateral damage because they could, in theory, hide in that bunker.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Rather than just disallowing it. Because let's say it's just a regular rural world. Well, if I let xenomorphs off on a rural world, well, you'd assume they'd eat everybody. Like, that would thematically make sense. However, if it's Cadia and we've got our Khazars, if you like 40k, you might know what I'm talking about. Or you've got, fortresses. If I've got population hiding in those fortresses, well, it's fine. The fortresses have to break and crack, and until they are destroyed by devastation and bombardment, some of my pops would remain alive. If you've enjoyed these patch notes that I've been joined with by EP30, thank you for coming on, and you'd like to find out more details and more depth about the changes coming in 3.9, specifically the changes to humanoids, the brand new tradition tree, and even more, click the video on screen now.
Click it! Click it now!